Welcome to the How to Interview a Real Estate Agent podcast with your hosts, Jesse Madison and Shannon Adams. Hi, everyone. This is Jesse Madison and Shannon Adams coming to you from Rancho Santa Margarita today. And we are real estate brokers, both of us. And we wanted to talk to you about different marketing strategies to sell your house. One of the new ones that we've started doing is the 360 tours, which are fabulous. In my opinion, one of the most invaluable tools you can have to sell your property. Photos are fantastic, and I can't underestimate the value of photography, good photography. It's a first impression, right?
Yes.
When people come to a listing and they find it, when they're browsing online, there's all kinds of, really good websites to browse homes, and the first thing you see is the photos. And the photo that people select, the very front photo for their property, is super important, right? It's a first impression. And then when they start looking at all the interior photos, the quality and the lighting has to be really good. But there's something to be said, even after you browse through all those pictures, all those photos of that home, you still don't really get a good feel for the floor plan and how those photos are all stitched together.
Yes.
Like, you're looking at something, but what's to the right of it? What's to the left of it? You can sort of get a general idea, but you're not really sure.
Yeah.
But the 360 tours, Matterport's a big company for it. There's other companies that do it as well. But we provide those tours on our listings, and they basically we shoot the property with a 360 camera in various different locations and stitch everything together so that you feel like you're in the home. Basically, you're clicking on a little circle and it takes you to that spot, and you can pan to the right and left with your mouse on your computer, and you can see what's to the right, see what's to the left, see what's behind you. You get a really good understanding for what the floor plan's like.
Just like if you were there.
And standing in any spot of the home, you can see what's all around you. Even the walls, the corners, the nooks, the kitchen. You go into the bath, even in the bathrooms. I mean, it's like you get 360. You get everything.
It's so hard to get a bathroom too.
It's incredible. You can even go up the stairs. Like you're. It's like you're walking up the stairs, and you just see how the floor plan goes. And it's a tour. It's an immersive tour, really. It's almost like a virtual reality feeling. You're inside the house and touring the home as if you're walking through it. Amazing. So
that's pretty new, Jesse, isn't it?
It's fairly new. It's becoming more and more popular, and I think it's one of the best tools to sell your home.
And what's the price range from like a condo size to a bigger house?
Well, that's an agent cost. It's not really like the buyer's, the seller's cost. It's part of what you do to market the home. It's one of those things that we offer included in all of our listings. So,
well, you offer it because you're such a good, generous agent.
Well, thank you.
So that's something to think about when you're picking the person you want to list with.
I think it's an important thing that when you are interviewing an agent, you ask them, do you include this? People that are going to be charging you for it or charging you with this and that. We include it in all of our listings. I know that it's a valuable tool for us, and I think the buyers love them. I think the buyers love getting those tours, and I think it generates more showings.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a major tool, and I think that you should be asking for it. If you're interviewing an agent, you should definitely ask for if they do 360 tours and they offer them. If not, find an agent that does, because I think it's a really, really good tool. So it's something that we're really excited about. And
so Jesse, share with the audience what's the different levels of photography in marketing a property. Like basically, some agents are so lazy and they just come with their cell phone, walk through the house, they don't open the windows, it's dark, they don't turn on the lights, and they take quick little shots with their cell phone. So what's the next step up from that?
I think that it's important to know what the agent is going to do. There's so many different levels of photography. Like, as far as, are they just going to use their cell phone to take the shots? Because I'll tell you what, cell phones have come a long way.
Yeah.
And actually, there are some cell phones that are actually take amazing photos nowadays.
Yes.
And I don't think it's a bad idea to shoot your property with a cell phone if you have proper lighting. The problem is that you really have to have one of the newest phones to be able to get away with that. And even if you have one of those, it's not going to be as good in low light. So,
and you need a little bit of skill, also knowing how to frame the picture.
Yeah, but
you know,
but what you're going to get typically with a photo from your phone is an image that in really good lighting could be pretty good quality, but homes do not have really good lighting built in for photography. So I think it's much better to shoot a home with a proper flash. And even if you don't have flash, you can do high dynamic range photography where you're shooting, you know, of course you need a tripod to shoot that, and then you're gonna you know, need to shoot in different exposures, and you're gonna blend 3 images together basically to create, you know, the highlights and the shadows, and to get the balance and to get the best lighting for the home. So, you know, to get really good quality photography, there's a lot of different ways to shoot it. But you should ask your agent. If you're gonna hire an agent, you know, interview an agent, you need to know how good are the photos gonna be. Ask for samples to view their listings, their past listings. If you see that it's just a bunch of cell phone photos and a lot of them just shoot them vertically, then that's not going to be good. Typically, you want your photos, first of all, to be panoramic photos. Like, you want them to be elongated with, like, you know, pan instead of the vertical photos. Because you want to get the width, you want to be able to see the property. And if they're shooting with a DSLR, hopefully a full frame camera, you're going to get the best lighting and the best results for your images, you know, with those. So,
and then there's virtual tours and slideshows.
Virtual tours, slideshows, or you know, full tours. I
mean, the one you were talking about, the 360 would be above that.
The 360 is certainly the best. I mean, a lot of agents say they're going to do a virtual tour, and all they do is put their photos and they make a slideshow with the photos that are already there, which really isn't a virtual tour. It's really just a slideshow. Passing the a slideshow. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. You know, agents are really loose with their words when they're trying to, you know, get the listing. But make sure you know what you're getting. You know, make sure you know you're getting good quality photography. Ask for samples. Samples of their 360 tours. They should be able to provide that. There's all kinds of things that they can provide you, and you should be asking those questions. Don't be afraid to ask the agents, you know, what they're doing, and see samples of their work, because you don't, after you sign the listing agreement, it doesn't really matter. You know, the agent's already locked you in. So they could show up with some poor quality work, and you would be pretty much stuck with the agent till the duration of that contract. So ask your questions ahead of time. When you're interviewing an agent, find out what the quality of their work is as far as marketing your property, because that's going to be the image that's out there of your property. And it's going to determine how many people come to see your property. And the more people that come see it, the more competition you'll get and the better offers you'll get. So,
the statistics show from Zillow and these different websites that the properties with the most pictures and quality pictures and virtual tours and 360, you know, the more where they can really visualize being in the property, those properties sell quicker.
Yeah. And talk to me about your virtual staging options.
So a lot of properties are being sold vacant, and sometimes that's a good thing because people like to picture the way they would decorate that property and make it their own. But there's people also that don't have vision, and they look at a space and they can't really tell, like, what can I fit in here, you know, what size furniture would fit in here or enhance this property. Well, there's a service now where instead of physically staging, where you have to bring in a sofa and a table and chairs and little knickknacks, which can cost thousands of dollars per month, you know, to have that, to rent basically that furniture, you can do it digitally. So now you can pick what style you want too.
Yeah.
You want country look, you want it to look like a beachy place, you want it to look glamorous. You know, they have all these different varieties of staging furniture that they can input into that vacant space
Yeah.
and make it look like it's been staged physically.
Right.
And I've used this a lot lately, and personally I've seen my showings quadruple.
That's
So there's
terrific.
something about, you know, when they get there they can see the real space, but this really helps them visualize how nice that property could look, you know,
with the proper
with the
furniture,
proper
right?
furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's such a nominal cost. You know, staging, like I said, can be a couple thousand a month.
Yeah.
And this is literally $15 to $39 a room.
Unbelievable.
So let's say you want to do the living room, dining room combo and 3 bedrooms. It's going to cost you $100, you know?
That's terrific.
So it's a lot of savings and a lot of bang for your buck, I guess you would say that.
I love that. I love that. And it makes a difference.
It does.
You don't think it makes a difference until you see it. And
We'll have some samples for you.
the proof is right there, you know, the more showings that you're getting. And, you
Yeah.
know, only an agent's going to notice that from their previous listings
Yes.
to the newer listings. So it's
And one
fantastic.
other photographic option, Jesse, is a drone video.
Drone video, yeah. Yeah,
For certain properties, not all properties, but some properties.
absolutely. I think drone gives first of all, it's just so different when you get that perspective from above. It's just it just like lights people up, you know.
Yeah.
And it gives you a whole different perspective on the home, and you can see how it's situated. You know, what's around it, what are the views like, what streets are behind the property. You get a perspective that you just don't get if you're just standing in front looking at photos. So
Especially
the
for
videos are
out of town
fantastic.
buyers.
Oh yeah.
You know, because it really shows how close they are to certain things, like that beach property we had. It showed how close they were to the water.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Or if it's the houses on the edge of a cliff, you know, it shows you the whole backside, which they can't really see.
Right.
So it has access to areas that the buyer couldn't even walk to.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really, really nice. You know, you can really see things that there's no way you would get that perspective.
Yeah.
And it shows you also like how far the spacing between homes is.
Yeah.
It varies in different housing tracts and different communities,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes, especially if the house has a lot of space between, you know, like it gives you the perspective of how big the side yards are or the spacing.
Mm-hmm.
Even like hills going down the back. Or,
Yes.
You know, all those different perspectives. You just cannot duplicate it. Drone
And
video
people are
is so
just
fantastic.
intrigued by drone video. So it gets them
Well,
to
some
look at
people,
the
yeah.
property. You know,
Yeah.
like if it says in the little ad that they come across on Zillow or Trulia or one of those and it says drone
Yeah.
video, they'll look at it.
I think it's really
I think it
important.
does
Yeah,
draw more traffic.
Yeah, drone video is really nice to have. And so, you know, if you're looking to market your property in the best possible way, these are all little things that you want to ask agents during the interview process if they do that, you know.
And who pays for it?
And who pays for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some agents will charge you for all these different little things, you know.
Mm-hmm,
Like we usually include that, so it's like something that we typically do. It's part of the marketing of the home that's included in the price. So ask agents. Find out before you sign a listing agreement
Mm-hmm.
all these things. I mean, these are the kind of things that you really need to ask, you know. So it's part of the interview process. So
Yep.
yeah, good point. Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us today, and we'll be back again.
We'll be back again with another episode. How to interview your real estate agent.
Yep.
And I'm Jesse Madison. You can find me on Instagram at OC Realtor Jesse Madison. And my website is onepointplusrealestate.com. And you can also email me at jesse@jessemadison.com. That's JESSE at Jesse, JESSE, Madison.com.
And I'm Shannon Adams with Equity Savers Realty, and my website is Move to SoCal, and that's TO, movetosocal.com.
Terrific. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.